Welcome to 101. I'm Greg Bassey, your host from the Salisbury Independent newspaper. It's a big day here at PAC 14. We have our friend from the South. She comes every late fall to fill us in on what's going on in Princess Anne. Welcome, Carrie Samus.
Thank you very much for having me.
So, all the action, well, we have our thing here in Salisbury, but that doesn't compare to the event that you have coming up on New Year's Eve in Princess Anne. Tell us about it.
Salisbury's event is also spectacular, but I'm partial to Princess Anne, definitely. So we have, on New Year's Eve, we have the Midnight Muskrat Dive. And it's been going on for several years now. But at midnight, what we do is drop a taxidermied muskrat named Marshall. And
this is the party right here.
This is him. So he's festively dressed, of course, for the holiday. He has on a nice top hat and silk cape.
And tails, and cape, yes.
A little silk cape.
Yeah.
And that looks great when he's, flying through the air at midnight. You get a lot of action there. So yeah, that's what we do. And it is a very, very Eastern Shore thing. We really kind of celebrate all that Somerset County has to offer, including abundant wildlife like marsh rats, like marsh rabbits, marsh rats, muskrats. It's a muskrat. That's what it is.
I have to give you credit. He's very docile. The muskrats I've dealt with were always muskrats that somehow got into a crab pot. And they were not pleasant when we pulled them up. And those claws were very effective at hurting you.
I bet. He's very well behaved.
He's well behaved. And this event has just unbelievably grown and grown. Last year was sort of a debacle, as it was everywhere, because it was 7 degrees outside.
Cold. Yes.
But you still went through with it.
Oh, yeah, we still did. And we still had several hundred people come, even in the bitter, bitter cold. So this year, the weather's just even a little bit better. I expect that we'll have a massive turnout.
Right. In Salisbury, the beer taps froze, so that kind of ruined that event.
Right.
But you all were able to move indoors.
Yeah, we did. We shifted most of the activity inside at the Firehouse downtown in Princess Anne and at the Washington Inn. So this year we do have those spaces reserved just in case we need them. But ideally, if the weather cooperates, we'd really love to be outside. I mean, it's just kind of a cool thing to do. We have a lot of different activities planned, and it's beautiful downtown. It's lovely at night. Lots of, all the historic buildings and that sort of thing. So it's the perfect place. And it's just fun to dance in the street when you have the opportunity. So
that's cool.
I plan on dancing in the street.
Bands will be there?
Yeah, we have a live band. So we have Uprising, and they're a local band. So they have a great following. They're a really good dance band. They play a tremendous variety of music. They have a pretty good following, too. So last year, a lot of people came to see them.
Yeah, they'll bring people with them, yeah.
Exactly. So we're happy about that. Mm-hmm.
And what time does this start?
Everything starts at 9 p.m. So the streets shut down in Princess Anne at 8 so that we can set up and prepare. And then the event starts at 9 and lasts through midnight when we drop the muskrat.
Is there any wagering on the muskrat drop? Is there some way to make this a competition?
No, not a competition. But there are lots of things to do to occupy yourself in between. So we have actually a photo booth, so you can get your picture taken with the muskrat.
Wow.
You can take selfies with the muskrat. Very unusual, unique. Your Instagram's going to blow up when you start posting pictures of you in a muskrat on New Year's Eve. It's pretty special.
Yeah.
So, but we, like I said, we sort of celebrate everything that Somerset County has to offer. The event's free. We give away. We have an oyster bar. So we have an oyster shucker right there who's shucking fresh oysters for you, and they're free, which
now, that's
is cool.
something Salisbury doesn't have. Okay.
True. Don't make Jamie feel bad.
Jamie Heater, who's organizing the Salisbury event, she needs to. Competition is American free enterprise. This is important.
I'll tell you, I was jealous when I heard about her confetti cannons. So
400 confetti.
I'm looking into that. So, I think I might need to get a couple at least just to test them out to see if I want that in the future. It did sound cool. So, anyway, oysters. We have the oyster shucker, right? So the oysters are harvested the day before, and we pick up a bushel of oysters and have the shucker right there, and a variety of condiments if you don't choose to just slurp them down as is.
Right.
And then we also have Smith Island cake, which is another wonderful Somerset County thing and our state dessert.
Right.
So
Correct.
we have a tons and tons of hundreds of slices of Smith Island cake to give
Wow.
away, which is great.
See, Salisbury. Yeah, okay.
And this year we're going to be doing $2 Muskrat tastings. So the Washington Inn is open that evening.
So bring
and
your
you can
bring your pet muskrat and they can taste something.
well, no. So
No?
there are a couple of different muskrat options for you that night if you choose. The Washington Inn will have a muskrat pie on the menu. Look at him. He is definitely spectacular, but
No
we're
one's-
going to eat some. And then we have
So wait, so the muskrat in the pie
the muskrat in the pie.
looks like this. Yes.
So, well, but it's beautiful. It's
It is
got
beautiful.
this great,
Ooh.
it's got lots of vegetables and all kinds of good stuff in there and a little bit of muskrat. There's some other meat in there too. There's some ham and some beef, some other stuff.
I've eaten stuff at the farm that looked worse. Yeah.
It's like stew.
Yeah.
Pot pie, stew.
It is pot pie stew with a little
And-
muskrat in it, just to remind you where you are.
Yeah. But you can also eat, for the purists, you can also, for $2, just taste straight up muskrat. So,
The real muskrat that's still has the bones.
do you want some of that? I have some of that
If
too.
you have something to show, I mean.
I do have some to show.
yeah.
I can definitely show it. So it does still have bones in it. This has not been picked, but it has been properly cooked. I got the instructions from a trapper who's been doing this for 60 years. And yeah, so there you go. You sure you don't want to taste it?
I'm good. I'm good.
Do you want to smell it?
I do not want to smell it.
You
No,
don't
I'm
wanna
good.
smell it?
No, I'm real good.
So, yeah. So Legacy Bistro is going to help us out for New Year's Eve this year, too. And they're going to be serving other types of food as well on the street. They're going to have pulled pork sandwiches and chili and hot dogs for kids, things like that. But they're also going to have $2 muskrat tastings.
Now-
if people just want to try it to say that they did.
I've never heard anyone doing this except for us, and because we did
Yeah.
it with lamb. But down on the farm, we would have the muskrat with the mint jelly.
Oh, yeah. Huh.
If you have a dark meat, kind of a gamey dark meat, the mint jelly seems to work. So I don't know if you would recommend the mint jelly or not.
So
Barbecue sauce doesn't work. Ketchup doesn't work.
And you did that with muskrat or with
With
lamb?
muskrat.
Oh, with muskrat.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Well, also
mint
with lamb,
jelly.
yeah.
But that's good to know because we have a great jammer. She cans and jams in Princess Anne little kitchen canner. So maybe I will see. Now I'm adding this. I'm gonna, at your recommendation,
So much to try it.
I'm gonna reach out to her
Yeah.
and I will get some mint jelly so that people can try it with mint jelly if they choose to. Great idea.
Yeah, that might work.
See? Yeah.
Cranberry sauce, not so much.
But mint jelly.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll be calling Tanya to try to get some mint jelly.
And
Perfect.
our family would eat it as a delicacy, so it would be something that would be consumed as an appetizer
Mm-hmm.
or as a separate. I don't remember ever eating it at the table, but because you had all the other stuff, deer and geese and ducks
Right.
at the table, you wouldn't want to mess the table up with muskrat.
Right. Well, a lot of people love it. Love it, love it, love it. When they have muskrat dinners down there, they sell out.
Not being that familiar with Princess Anne, where do people park when they go down there for your big event?
Well, there's tons of parking. So there's free. We have street. There are no paid parking lots in Princess Anne. It's all free. So free street parking. There's parking behind the Washington Inn. There's a parking lot by Somerset Choice Antique Station. There's a big giant town parking lot there. So parking isn't really an issue. So we have plenty of it, and it's free. Yay!
Right, and there'll be someone guiding people in when they come into
Yeah,
town? Or, okay.
only one block of the downtown area is closed to traffic, and you can easily get all the way around it. So yeah.
You've mentioned the hotel a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
I keep hearing about the hotel. New owners down there, probably not new anymore.
About 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
But people say it's a destination. It's the place to go. It's fun.
It's delicious. It's good. They have live music. Not every single night, but often. They frequently have live music. They have a really cool, the building,
well, Mickey
the historic
Justice
building.
was just down there on a
Mickey
Thursday.
Justice,
He's
yeah,
the best on a
actually,
Thursday.
he's playing this Thursday
Okay.
too. So
Salisbury
yeah,
guy.
he and his son have both been playing together, which is great. But the bar is really cool, a lot of character. the hotel was built in 1744. So it's a really cool historic property right in downtown Princess Anne.
And George Washington actually stopped there.
Well, so they say.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll go with it.
I was at the Salisbury Chamber of Commerce Economic Development Forum. Danny Thompson from Somerset gave a presentation on economic development in Somerset County and highlighted a lot of new things in Princess Anne that I didn't know about.
Yeah, we've been working really hard to bring new business to town and to just kind of increase the level of activity in town by offering events and programs and doing a lot of media promotion and all those things. And as a result of those collective efforts, we have 5 new businesses in town that have just opened up in the last couple of months, which is amazing. So we have a new B&B. Well, it used to be a B&B a long time ago and then closed for a little while. Now it's under new ownership and they just reopened. And it's called Princess Anne Book Lovers Inn. They only have 3 rooms, but they are spectacular. So, so lovely. And then, so that was one new business. We have Headwind Cycle, which is a bicycle shop. Super cool. And a great service to be able to offer right downtown. And you can buy bikes, you can get your bike repaired, all sorts of stuff there.
It's a great area for bike riding. It's so flat
Oh,
around
absolutely.
there. It's
Yeah.
great. And
The Seagull Century comes through there every year. The metric ride is straight through Princess Anne.
It's a
and
left
it's
turn
lovely.
and you're in the Pocomoke Forest. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's very pretty. And then we have Bluntly Coached, which is a coaching therapy service right downtown as well in Independence Hall. And she just opened up within the last month. In November, I think it was, that she just opened up. And it offers kind of a more private atmosphere for counseling and coaching and that sort of thing, which is wonderful. And then we have Tweak Systems, which is a computer repair shop. And the guy who opened that up, John Hurst, he's been doing computer repair for a couple of years, but he just opened his office downtown in Princess Anne in the last month. And he's really seen an uptick in his business. And he will, not only does he have an office downtown and you can come to him with your problems and with your, technological problems, you can bring your computer in, your laptop, whatever. He also makes house calls. So he's in the office Monday through Wednesday, and then Thursdays and Fridays he reserves for house calls. And then the newest business that just opened December 1st, they haven't even had their big grand opening yet. They did a soft opening December 1st, is called Oh Grace and Glory Boutique. And the woman who opened that store up is Orlena Williams, and she used to have a store in Salisbury in the city center a few years ago.
Yeah, I remember.
And she lives in Princess Anne now. She has an adorable son, so cute. And she decided to open her business right downtown in Princess Anne. And so it's right across from the Washington Inn in Independence Hall, and it is so beautiful. All very, really, really pretty clothing for women. Stuff you'd wear during the day, all the way up to cocktail attire and church hats and accessories and handbags, all sorts of stuff. It's beautiful. She has an amazing shop. It's so, so pretty. I love going in there. So she's excited to be opened in Princess Anne too. So that's 5 new businesses.
They sound pretty sustainable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're very excited about that. And, it's great to have such a diversity of the types of businesses downtown. We have a florist shop, Priceless Flowers, that's been open for 17 years in the same location. That really says something about that florist, about the location, just all of it. And she's wonderful to work with. We have several antique stores. So we have Somerset Choice Station, and all the proceeds from that antique store benefit the Historical Society, which is great. It's all run by volunteers.
That's the old gas station.
The old gas station.
Yeah. I think of it as being on the edge of town, but it's not. It's kind of in the middle of town.
It's right there, yeah. And then Somerset Hidden Treasures also has a bunch of cool antiques and collectibles, and they have a great vinyl collection and a lot of old books too, which is cool. And then Heyman Antiques, which is on the corner by the firehouse. That is, it used to be the old hardware store that was open in the early 1900s, and they just have, it's amazing just to go into the store. It's huge. And they constantly have new merchandise coming in. Not it's
Not
new
new,
to the store.
new to the store.
Not new, but
Yeah.
really cool antiques and collectibles in there as well. And then there's a place called the Junk Box Thrift Shop, which is also neat and just jam-packed with so much stuff. And there's a lot of, they really sell stuff quickly. So whenever you go in, there's always something new. Yeah.
Yeah.
All kinds of cool stuff.
And there's all the history, which we just sort of forget about.
All the
Teakle
history.
Mansion, which is...
Teakle Mansion is right there.
Everyone's got to go there.
Everyone's got to go there. Teakle Mansion is right there. University of Maryland Eastern Shore, so it's great to have an HBCU right in our town, to have that in our town too, and that's also right down there. And then we have some other little shops and stuff too. There's a little, I love it, like Bobby's Hair Fair, so you can go and get your hair cut. On Wednesdays, you can get a pint of oysters there because her son is a waterman, and you can buy a pint of oysters when you get your hair did. And she also has sweet potato biscuits that are baked by a local woman that are to die for. So, so good. And, ooh, this is another cool project that we just did. One of our local business owners, Price Cutters, which is kind of a convenience store. And then they have a lot of other, stuff. They have drinks and snacks and food and stuff like that. They have a tremendous selection of hair care products, and then some stuff that like students might need for their dorm rooms and all of that. So a lot of UMES students come there, and then but we just worked with Price Cutters and the University of Maryland Eastern Shore, their art club, which is called Envision, and they did a mural on the side of the building.
Well, I was going to ask about that.
Yeah, so it's very cool. The sequential arts program study kind of comic art, basically. That's comic book kind of art. And they just had at the Mosley Gallery at UMES, they had an art exhibit with the artwork from the Black Panther, some of the original artwork from the Black Panther comic. And the students then...
Which is a great big movie right now.
Which is the biggest grossing movie, top grossing movie of the year. Yeah. And, you know, it is nominated for all sorts of awards and all sorts of things, and it was a super cool movie. So they have one of the characters from the Black Panther movie, Black Panther, T'Challa, on the side of Price Cutter now, and it's cool. It's so cool to just, the side of his building is just this painted white brick, and it's really pretty anyway, but it was the perfect canvas for some public art. So we're really happy to have some public art in town too. And I can tell you, folks are driving by and taking selfies with it and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, it's very cool.
Is it a permanent one or one of those that sort of washes off?
It's one of those temporary ones. Yeah. It's a temporary one. The same art club had done some artwork in downtown Salisbury before, and it was very well received. And they decided to, try to do something in Princess Anne, which we're really happy about. And hopefully they'll continue to do more pieces like this. So usually it gets put up and it stays for a couple of months, and then hopefully next semester we'll get a new piece. So something completely different.
So I saw during the folk festival that you were sort of the interpreter for the great Stony Whitelock aboard one of the skipjacks, which he needs an interpreter because no one can understand what he says.
I understand him. I love
That's
to hear
why
him
you're
talk.
his interpreter. So
I love to hear him talk so much.
So you all brought a skipjack together up the river,
Yes.
which must have been really exciting.
Incredible.
And you were there, and of course the day that you were supposed to present, it rained, but you still had a great crowd.
We did. We definitely did. One of the cool things about the location of Princess Anne as the town or county seat, we're surrounded by all this other cool stuff. So there's, opportunities to eat lots of cool, delicious seafood, obviously, and to bird watch and hike and kayak and explore all within 15 or 20 minutes from downtown Princess Anne. And one of the cool things that you can do is take a skipjack sail. And so there's a skipjack that leaves out of the Deal Island Harbor now that you can take a sail on, the Catherine, and then Stony. That's Stoney's son that has the Catherine, and then Stoney has the Mini V, and he was invited to come up to Salisbury for the National Folk Festival and asked if I wanted to come, and I was like, yes.
He was a human folk life exhibit.
Oh, yeah, right, definitely. He's what's referred to as a heritage bearer, so he talks a lot about just kind of waterman culture and what it's like to work on a skipjack. the mechanisms, how they harvest oysters and all of that.
Right, now he says all that, and people like look at each other, and then you say, what he said was...
No, that is so not true. No, he is a captivating storyteller. I could sit and listen to him for hours, absolutely. And I love his voice. I love his voice. I love his accent. That just adds to the whole experience for sure. And having the opportunity to sail from Princess Anne to Salisbury was really incredible. It was cool to, I had been on the Wicomico River before, obviously, but not coming up from Deal Island, and it was really fantastic. I was grateful for the experience for sure, and happy to be involved in the National Folk Festival too. It was I just think that's such a remarkably amazing event for Salisbury and all the surrounding towns, really.
So you've gotten into the skipjack thing.
Mm-hmm.
Our mutual friend Bryce Stump has written a book about it.
Yeah.
But there's just a handful of skipjacks that are left.
Yeah, so, they estimate that there were anywhere from 1,800 to 2,500 working on the bay in the heyday, in the oyster heyday. And now I think there are 8, and a lot of them are operating right out of the Deal Island Harbor and Winona, which is at the south end of Deal Island. So there are several that are, well, not several, only several. There's only a handful that are still doing it. It's really hard work. And, there are a lot of regulations that impact the harvest. Climate change is impacting the harvest, in my opinion. So a lot of different things are impacting the harvest right now. And disease that oysters have gotten in the last several years, and just dwindling oyster populations. And it's physically demanding work. And it happens in the coldest, most miserable time of the year. So if watermen are working on a skipjack, they leave at dark, they're out on the water, it's freezing cold, you're wet. Just handling the oysters scars you up and cuts you up and all that sort of thing. I mean, when we sailed up to Salisbury even, and we weren't oystering, but when we sailed up to Salisbury, when we got there, Stoney's wife, Katerina, met us at the dock, and she came up to me and she said, so how many people are bleeding? Because just working on a skipjack and maneuvering that boat, and you can injure yourself pretty easily. And think about it. I mean, especially in the wintertime when you're harvesting with your crew, if anybody did fall in,
they're done.
Right?
Yeah.
Freezing cold.
Unless you can walk to shore, there's no prayer.
I cannot even imagine. It is, yes, just backbreaking work. And I have not yet been out on a skipjack while they're dredging. I've been on skipjacks a ton of times now, thankfully. I love that experience, but not while they're actually dredging. But I have been in harbor when they've come in to unload, and just seeing them unload is mind-blowing. It's, just shoveling off, tons and tons of oysters. It's really hard work.
Well, I'm hoping they do it again next year, and I'm hoping we get better weather for that.
Yeah, me too.
Because that really is something that's special about who we are.
Oh, it definitely is. I mean, we said the Smith Island cake is the Maryland state dessert. Well, skipjack is the Maryland state boat.
That's right. That's a good point.
Yeah.
All right, so recap for me. Your event is when?
Monday, December 31st, New Year's Eve.
But it moves into Tuesday.
Right, it goes into New Year's Day, definitely. So it's New Year's Eve. Starts at 9:00, goes until, midnight-ish, after midnight.
If you want to get there at 8 and have dinner at the Washington Inn first.
Definitely. Yeah. Make reservations, though.
Yeah.
Make reservations for New Year's Eve if you want to eat dinner there.
Cordial maybe to get you ready to go out.
Yes. Oh, and they'll have special drinks that night, too. Minokan River shots.
That sounds like... See, Jamie
Doesn't
Heater,
that sound good?
Minokan River shots.
Minokan River shots, Muskrat. I mean, Salisbury's cool and all, but this is, you're making memories big time.
I think Salisbury's got some work to do.
You can come down to Princess Anne, and it is definitely going to be the most unique New Year's celebration that any of your friends will have.
Let's just try this.
All across the world.
Here's the Minokan shot, or here's the gun with the confetti in it, which... I'm taking the shot.
You're taking the shot?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I do too.
It's all free.
Yeah, it's free.
Parking is easy.
Parking is so easy.
And something happens at midnight with this man.
Yeah, something happens at midnight with this guy, which is great. And photo opportunities. And games and stuff. You know, we do street games. We have temporary tattoos and face painting and all that kind of thing. So
How were your Thursday events this summer?
good. So our Thursday events, Summer on Somerset, brought down about 1,000 people throughout the course of the summer. Again, free live music, you know,
Kind of like our third Friday, but you did it every week.
Yes, every week during the summer.
Right.
Just during the summer, yeah.
And it was always 115 degrees.
It wasn't as bad this year as last year. I mean, it's still, it's hot, but it's important to get outside and do things outside.
So we'll have you back in the spring to talk about that.
Okay.
If you're going to do it again next summer.
Yeah, we are evaluating all of our events right now and deciding which ones we're going to do for 2019, which is exciting. And, you know, a lot of people wonder why downtown districts do these kinds of events and that sort of thing. And one of the reasons is to kind of give a boost to economic development in the area, for sure. And the one shop that I mentioned that just opened, Oh Grace and Glory Boutique, the reason that shop opened, Orlena was downtown with her son for one of our events specifically, and saw the vacancy in the shop window, and within a month opened her new business. So that is a great success story from the kind of Main Street perspective, for sure. That's exactly the kind of thing that we want to see happening. And we still have a few open storefronts, so if anybody wants to open a business in downtown Princess Anne, contact me.
That's cool. Carrie Samus again from Main Street Princess Anne, and we love it when she's here to talk about the New Year's. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much.
I'm Greg Bassett from the Salisbury Independent Newspaper, another edition of 101 right here on Pack 14.
First Shore Federal is proud to support PAC 14 and one-on-one. We'd encourage every business to support PAC 14 and pick a program and support it, and let's make a difference.